Hi everybody, Joel Ledlow, Evolution JKD, and today we're going to talk about the daily decrease on the whiteboard. So, in the Jeet Kune Do community, there are a lot of terms and catchphrases that are thrown out that maybe don't always have good definitions or examples, and maybe people are doing them and they have one given definition or this definition. I'm going to give you mine, and hopefully it helps you with your training. That's always the goal for me, not to create my own cult, but to help you learn some stuff. Okay, so daily decrease, what does that mean? Let's talk about it. And I'm going to put it into, firstly, you have to understand the movements. And in order to understand your movements, so if you have a movement right here, whatever it is, or a movement here, 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 you must explore those movements and understand them. And then what you begin to do is create a connection into a core element. You start finding the root of what all of these things share. And here's the cool part. Once you do that, you can then train that core element right here. And when you understand this through your own exploration and discovery, you understand this thing right here supports all of these other elements. It's like a core exercise that can be used for everything else. I'm going to give you a great example. Now, if you don't know these examples, or if you'd like to find out what my version is, check out my instructional video, Jeet Kune Do Fundamentals. I'll put a link in the description. Check it out. Buy it. It is really jam-packed with a ton of information. And if you don't know these movements or you don't see how they relate, you will once you watch that video. If you have it already, go back and look at all the lessons in there again, and you'll see this even more. Here's the number one, heel switch. Right there, somebody went, what is that? Those who have trained with me know exactly what it is. One heel is up, you switch. No, it's a whiteboard. You don't get to see it right here. Go get the video. But if you do a heel switch, you can start to see that's going to work for my jab. It's going to work for my hook, which means it's going to work for my hook kick, right? Oh, wait, we can do a back fist, right? We can do an elbow. We can do a throw. What? And now that's just giving you really easy. What is that? Six? That's 6 things that you can work on just by doing the heel switch. And that's not even trying. That's a very basic thing in there, right? Jab. Oh, bang, I can work it. Oh, there's my hook. There's my elbow. There's my kick. Oh, there's my back fist. Hey, look, there's Bob. Can't have Bob without hitting Bob. It's just kind of a thing. Elbow, throw, all of those are really easy if you just work the heel switch. It is literally an exercise. All drills are just exercises to help us get better. So if you can do that, it's great. Now, the reason we can do that is because when you have a movement, whatever the movement is, and it's got these various elements, this is whatever. Well, if you break it down into 2 separate things, you can work this and this. Now, if you do that again, and you break it down over here, that is going to begin your process. So this is whatever. It's one of those other movements. It's your jab, it's your hook, it's your elbow, it's a throw. It has all of these various elements, and what you start doing is you start going, well, it has this and this and this and this and this. You break it down. This is one element, this is another element, but I can break that down again into more simplified components like heel switch. So once you realize that this one is heel switch, I know, can't read it, that's okay. You know, that one's heel switch. Once you get to that, and you do this over and over and over again with all of these various techniques. I know, Bruce didn't like the word technique, but this one, and this one, and this one, and this one through your own exploration, whatever that is. Now, I'm using the heel switch as an example. It doesn't have to be that. It could be anything, and you should find what those elements are. I have 6 different movements, attacks, whatever you want to call them. And I break them down, and each one of these has this little part to it. So if I understand, now they've got other parts to them as well, right? This one's got 3 other parts. That one has 3 other parts. This one has 3 other parts. That one has 3 other parts. That one has 2 other parts, right? And that one has 2 other parts, right? But so you start seeing, or maybe that's Y, okay? But you start seeing X is in all these things, so then you can work X just by itself. And by doing so, you're now working all of these. So that's the daily decrease. I'm not working one thing. I'm not working 6 things. I'm working 6 things by working one thing. So you can really make your training more efficient. And that's how you keep going up and up and up. We don't get higher level by training just more hours. You train more in each hour. So I need to be able to put more. It is not a direct up, right? Look, it's exactly the same. I'm a beginner, I train this much, and I train this much, I train this much, I train this much. It's more like this. In order to do that, in order to get all of these other things in here, I have to be able to train just one thing, one thing, one thing, one thing, one thing. Well, I have to be able to train one thing, 2 things, 3 things. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 things. I was making sure, sometimes my lines, 6 things. But really, I'm training one thing, one thing, one thing, one thing. I just know how to put, in the beginning, one thing goes to one movement. Now I can go a little bit more. One thing, I can apply it to 2 different movements. One thing, I can apply it to 3 different movements. One thing, I can apply it to 6 different movements, and so on and so on. That is the daily decrease. It's actually a daily increase. Think about that one. Hope you enjoyed this. Give me some questions in the comments. Check out my other videos. I do have movement ones as well, but if you have stuff that you want to see, let me know in the comment section. If you have questions about this, let me know in the comment section. Tell your friends about it, and don't forget that if you're not quite sure about what movements I'm talking about, or you want to see how I relate them in, get my instructional videos, again, in the description. I'll see you next time.